Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Anne Manera. Welcome to another live color along, a Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Fun times, right? What better way to start off the week? A lot of people are already here this morning, so we're going to wait until everyone gets here, but I just wanted to get the camera rolling and get everything moving along. So what is happening with everyone? What is going on? How is everyone doing? I'm coloring with Black Widow colored pencils today. I'll be using Cobra pencils. I'll be using this Cobra set, and Black Widow has 3 sets of colored pencils. I love them. One of my faves. And we're blending. We're going to shade today. Sometimes we blend and shade with colored pencils, but this morning we're shading. So we're going to talk about shading, shading with colored pencils, and we're coloring a page from Color Along Volume 14. It's the Snowman page. It's the 3rd page in, right, Paisley? Paisley's with me this morning, hanging, of course. Snowman Frenzy page is what we're coloring this morning, and we will be shading. And, you know, it's funny because how do you color snow if it's white? So we're going to color snow in a different way this morning and really focus on how to shade with colored pencils in different colors and to kind of make it really look like it's a snowman. You know, this page is also in my book called Snowman Frenzy. And in that book, I actually left the pages, set it up so the pages are cream rather than white, so that you could actually color it white. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for everyone to get here, let me see if I have a copy of that book. I have a feeling that I might not have a copy of it. Oh, here it is. I'll do a quick flip through of Snowman Frenzy because we all know how much we love snow. So this is Snowman Frenzy, and it's got a matte cover, and the back has 24 pages of these little snowmen and all these whimsical poses. And I have actually colored in this book, so you'll get to see what it looks like when it's colored. But what's cool is about this book is that the pages are cream. Instead of being white, they're cream, and that allows you to color the snowmen with different colors or with white. So while we're waiting for everyone to get here this morning, I'll just do a quick flip through of Snowman Frenzy. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Jean. Good morning, Mamie. How's it going, Sharon? Dee Dee's here with us this morning. Thanks for joining us, Dee Dee. Good morning, Alice and Mary and Carrie and Bonnie. Doesn't it sound like Romper Room? Colleen is here with us. Good morning, Alexandria. So feel free to share this color along on your Facebook page or on a coloring group. That would be awesome. So here's one of the pages. This is a really good example of a page that's been shaded. Another example of something that's been shaded. I only used a number 2 pencil on this page and the color, my friend, the color orange. Here's another one in this book that I just used markers. I think my goal was to color this whole book, and then I kind of lost track. Oh, I don't know. I wish I could color every book. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Color every one of my books in their entirety, but I'm not sure if I can do it. Here's one with some pointillism. These guys look like they're supposed to be singing a tune, I guess. Here's another guy wearing some sunglasses. This is another good example of shading. Good morning, Sandra. Here's one with some gel pens in my work in progress. So this is one that is not colored yet, and I don't know if you can tell, but the page is cream. So it's easy to use white on these pages with these snowmen if you wanted to color them white, or if you just wanted to leave them alone. There's also a page in here where you can add your own things or your own clothing or dress up your own little snowmen. I'm gonna move everything around in here. And then this guy, combination of marker and using some pointillism to kind of create some different colors. I always love that one. Another one where you can just add your own thing. Another good example of shading, and this is a good example of what we're going to do today with the snowmen, and to give them this kind of different colors, because snow is white, you know, and we want it reflects all colors around us. So, but we're waiting for the room to fill, waiting for everyone to get here. This is the one from the cover. Well, the same one as the cover, not the one from the cover. Good morning, Debbie. So feel free to share this color along out on a coloring group. I know that a couple of coloring groups are probably interested in this, or share it out on your own Facebook page. We're here. If you've never been to a live color along, my color alongs are a tutorial of different coloring techniques each Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's a live situation, and it means that you know, the dog could bark because my dogs Scarlet and Paisley are hanging with me all the time, and Paisley usually has a lot to say behind me. And the doorbell could ring, the phone could ring, the doorbell could ring, right? The phone could ring. Anything can happen in a live color along. Let's see if I can get my... Okay. Hey, Trish. Okay, so we are going to... And I'm going to get rid of this little corner logo off the bottom. Right, Paisley? So let me get the dogs a biscuit so that they're quiet. Thank you for sharing that, Alice. Good morning, Cheryl. And we're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Here you go. Lynn's asking, did the Amazon guy bring Paisley her package? Yeah, it's all set. What do you think about her crazy videos? I thought that was actually kind of funny because there are a couple of Amazon guys who do leave it on top of a hose, a garden hose. I just thought to myself, that was a little crazy. Why are you leaving it on top of a hose? It could leak, it could get wet. I don't know. One time they left a whole bag of dog food on top of a hose. So, yeah, Paisley, if anyone has not seen it, Paisley does a little video message every morning. It's a few seconds long, and she kind of talks about different things, right, Paisley? She's kind of got a little bit of an attitude, doesn't she? I think they're funny. I mean, maybe I'm cracking up. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but it keeps me laughing. I've gotten a lot of messages from a lot of people telling me that they look forward to her video every day. So I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to see how much longer I can keep going with Paisley's messages. I don't know what she'll say tomorrow. She's very spontaneous, so I'm not sure what she'll say tomorrow. But today's message, if you have not seen it, you can go over to my Facebook page and you can take a look at Paisley's little videos every morning. And she talks about different things, like today she talked about the Amazon delivery. Scarlett, what else has she talked about? Social distancing. She talks about hanging with her friends, having a snack. So she heard a toe the other day. Hey, Dawn. Thank you. Dawn says, I love Paisley's videos. Isn't it funny, though? It is funny. You're right, Alice. It's quarantine humor, but it'll probably continue. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, they're funny. I think they're funny. You know what's funny is I keep playing them over and over throughout the day if I feel like I need to laugh. And people look forward to them. So, and a few of them are kind of geared towards different people I know. Like, for example, I have a relative that is an Amazon delivery guy. So today's video was kind of directed towards him indirectly. So that's kind of funny. Lynn is saying, did you get your toilet paper yet? I did, Lynn. And I now have a new piece of furniture in my house. I ordered a 80 pack of toilet paper from Amazon. I think they still have it, don't they? And it was delivered on Saturday, and man, the box was heavy, and the Amazon guy put it right into my front door. I happened to be out there. I'm going to get started with this, and I'm going to start out with this middle guy. He'll be pink, or she'll be pink. And I'm going to just kind of do a little bit of a heavier pressure around the edge of his face, and the kind of like the edges of things. And then as we get closer to the middle, we're going to ease up on the pressure. So it looks like it is much darker in the corners or in the edges. I don't know if a circle could have a corner, but here up again in here too. And up again in here. And just kind of shading it lightly in the middle of it. And then you can always go back in with an eraser and erase what you have I found a place for that. Lynn's talking about the box of toilet paper. She and I both ordered the same toilet paper from Amazon, and the box is gigantic. And you know what? It could easily be a table. I thought about offering the box to somebody that maybe they might need it for a kid to play with, because, or it could be a dog house, could be a house, could be a good house for a cat. So again, same concept with this portion down here. And I'm going to use a darker or a heavier pressure in these corners. And as we move up, it's going to be lighter. Now, I know it's April, what is it, April 20th? And we don't really want to talk about snow, but hey, it snowed here the other day. So I don't know. Could snow in June for all we know. Could snow in July. But these guys are kind of just a whimsical looking little group. And I don't really want to leave anything that's completely white in the middle of this. So instead, I want to just leave a darker, or a lighter, hey Pat Christie, a lighter pressure in the middle. So it's extremely, extremely light. Now, this is kind of like a little corner where maybe it would be a little bit darker, because it's a smaller area between the scarf and the side of his body. So I'll just add that to that section there. And I mean, I'm kind of like coloring on a little bit of an angle, but I just basically want these edges, like this kind of little corner. Kind of reminds me of how frosting would be on a cake. I don't know. Or the cheese on a pizza, Alice, right? Gotta include the cheese on the pizza. So that is the body. And I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. You could easily go back. You know what, Sharon? If there is snow in June, I'm coming over and we're gonna build a snowman. How about that? Part of me is thinking, hooray! Part of me is thinking, man, I hope there's no snow. All right, I'm gonna just kind of do the carrot nose, the same method. So I'm going to start out with a darker pressure kind of on the right side of the carrot, and you move it over to the left side with a lighter pressure. So it creates a shading. It creates, you're going from light to dark, dark to light. It doesn't make a difference which way you go. It doesn't make a difference whether you start with light or dark, as long as it's kind of shaded along. So let's give this guy a red, kind of a red thing in the top here. And again, heavy pressure to the bottom. So everything we colored today is going to have a little bit of a shade to it. Or sometimes people refer to shading as a gradient. You know what Paisley's doing right now? Dawn's probably laughing when I tell her. She's going to laugh when I tell her this. She has probably placed a bone under a really heavy piece of furniture, because apparently she thinks I need to exercise, according to her. I don't know. She's got another. She needs to get a grip. So again here, the same thing. Heavy pressure, light. Heavy pressure to light. And I'm kind of going from right to left. I don't really know why. And don't forget, this is it's going in the opposite direction because of the way the scarf is kind of flipped over. So he's just kind of got a little bit of shading there. And then the next guy, I feel like he should be purple. So I've got this, this is called Tulip. And I'm just going to do the same method as far as kind of adding a darker color here to this side of his face, kind of where the crevices are. You can even kind of go onto this side too, onto this side of his mouth. So that this whole side of his face becomes more of a shadow. And even a little bit of a heavier pressure here. And I'm kind of going in the direction of the circular part of his face. And then I'm going to move on to the body and do the same thing. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Barb. And kind of give it the same thing. But, you know, he's got a darker section going on over here. I can just tell he does. So a little bit of a heavier pressure there. And again here, into these corners where it's kind of like a crevice. Well, thanks for stopping by, Sarah. So again here, just kind of like this corner. And then towards the middle, I'm kind of giving it a lighter pressure. You could probably easily put your pencil kind of on its side. You know, kind of like on its angle, on an angle. If you just kind of hold the pencil and pivot the page, you'll get a really good, it'll actually work out a little bit better. I'm not going to blend any other colors today. We're just going to shade with the colors that we have, with the one color. And again here, I'm going to kind of do a heavy pressure and then move on to a light pressure for his carrot nose. And then this guy looks like he needs to have some sort of a turquoise. This is called Aquarius. And I'm going to start out with the background first. Heavy pressure. Now, you could go as heavy or use as much of a heavy pressure as you would like, to the point where you could almost have like a burnishing effect. And burnishing is when it's all, it's just so much of a heavy pressure that it almost creates a little bit of a sheen to it. And then this part right here, well, I guess I gotta go kind of a little bit of a darker pressure right there. And then again here, I'm going to use a darker pressure on the side of it. And as I go to the middle, well, maybe I'll just actually go like this. Darker pressure here, and I'll make this as I go out towards the left. And again, the same thing here. Heavy pressure here where it's close to hit the middle, and then kind of out to the right. Hanging out to the right. Now, as far as my my circles, I've got this fire color, and I'm just going to use a very heavy pressure on these little circles so that they're more of an accent. Paisley's toe is fine. She jumped off the couch the other night and she hurt her toe. She was limping, and she's kind of dramatic. It was okay though. She was fine. You have to realize that those videos, I mean, I think this kind of goes without saying, they're a little bit of an exaggeration. So, you know, there is a little bit of an exaggeration on my part from what's happening. So it's kind of like a cartoon type thing, right? It's all satire. I think it's kind of funny. I'm having fun doing them, so I guess that's all that counts, right? All right, let's see. Now, this guy right here, I think I'll go with kind of a light green color. This is called Venom. But if I use a light enough pressure, it will kind of give it a light enough color. I mean, fantasy, right? These are fantasy snowmen. So you don't need to worry about green or pink or purple snow falling from the sky. Thought we had problems now. Imagine if that happened. That actually would be kind of funny. Bring it on. So again, this kind of corner here is going to be the darker section. And even up in here and up in this section here. And then kind of moving along. Paisley's saying, Alice is saying, when I was a kid, I used to color with crayons and used heavy pressure and then scrape the crayon off and it was very shiny. Yeah, I did that too. How about when you would, did you do this too, Alice? You would color like the whole page with a bunch of different colors and then go over it with black and then scrape it off. It's kind of like a scratch board type thing. And you could, and then as you scrape the black off, it became different colors. Like you could draw in it or you could write something. So again, this kind of heavy pressure over in the corner and then a lighter pressure as we move up. So coloring camp starts Sunday. We're moving along. There's no color along next Monday because of coloring camp. And if you're still interested in signing up for coloring camp, you can. But the color along that is scheduled for, I wanted to let you guys know this. The color along that's scheduled for May 4th, this one right here, has been canceled. I'll be rescheduling it because I decided that the coloring camp is 7 days straight, plus we have our bonus day of a painting class. And I don't know what kind of voice I'm going to have by the end of it. All right, so now we've got this little scarf that this guy's wearing. He's got a green body. I think I'll give him grape colored scarf. I'm going to start with the heavy pressure in the left side of it, and then moving on. And then again here, between the zigzags. Now, I could easily leave those white, but how boring would that be? So I'm going to, I think I'll give them a blue color, because I kind of like that, like a blue with a grape. I'll use Aquarius, and I'll give it a heavy pressure for the Aquarius so that it has more of an accent to it. Paisley watches her videos, Mary. She does. We watch them together. And Scarlett is not at all jealous. Someone asked, a couple of people have asked, does Scarlett want to get in on the video? And it's just not her thing. She's got other things to do. She said, this is just not for me. I'm not interested in this. Please don't let me do this. So we do need to laugh. You got it, Alice. That's true. All right, so now I've got my divider lines that go behind here, and I'll use this color Fire. And I'm going to start out with the really heavy pressure in the corner, and then as I move out, I'll lighten it up. And again here, heavy pressure here, but as we move up, it's shaded into this. So it's like a gradient. It's also like a shadow in a way. I feel like I should be pivoting my page. I always make these divider lines the same when I color one of these pages. It's just my rule. I don't know why. The snowmen are so pretty, Alexandra is saying. How are you, Alexandra? Looks like you used watercolors on them. I know, aren't they adorable? How's the weather in Missouri, by the way? Any snow lately? It snowed here the other day. And you know, they put salt down on the roads and in clumps. I didn't really think we needed salt. I'm going to use heavy pressure as I go to the middle and then ease up, and then heavy pressure here as we get towards the middle and ease up. All right, now we've got the snow on the bottom. So let's see what we can do with this Aquarius color on the bottom. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a pivot. And just like I colored the snowman, kind of like in the crevice or in the corners, I'm just going to kind of give it a darker pressure, heavier pressure, kind of like where the snow meets the men. And very light as I get further out. Like I'm barely touching the page. Barely touching it. You could probably go back in with this. I don't have white in the set, but you could probably go back in with this and maybe add some white to just kind of soften that blue color. But we're just going to leave it the way it is. All right, now let's see what other colors we have in this set. Black Widow pencils are really nice. If you do not have Black Widow pencils, they're a really, really nice set to have. Here's a yellow color. It's called light yellow. And I'm just going to do a heavy pressure close to the snowman and then ease out with the pressure. So it's more of a shadow. Here, I'm just going to kind of, same thing here. As I get closer to the snowman, I'm going to go heavier and then lighter onto the outside. It was really nice here yesterday too. But today's not that great here. Today looks like overcast and cloudy. Here's back to this orange color. This is a sunset color, but this nugget color is nice too. So let's do the background behind these guys with some nugget. And for this one, I'm starting darker pressure and I'm going up. Hey, Kristen, what are you using? I am using Black Widow pencils. They're a wax colored pencil. And they basically wax base versus oil base. And it's the Cobra edition. And Black Widow has several different pencils. They have 5 sets of pencils right now. And this is the Cobra edition. Nice selection of colors in this. And they all have a name on them. They have a number. Do they have a number? Yeah, they do have a number. There's Cobra, Spider, and Scorpion. Alice says, I love coloring snowmen in the summer when I'm hot. I pretend I'm cooling off. I know, that's a good idea, actually. I can't stand when it's really hot. I like watching shows that have a lot of snow in them. Something on TV. And then I can cool off by doing it that way. Like Alaska shows are really good when it comes to that. Here's a nice heavy pressure here. And then moving up towards, as I color up, it's going to be a darker pressure, a lighter pressure to get that shading effect. All right, now let's move on. We've got to add some more orange. So I'm going to do heavy, 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 and then light, 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 light. And it's just a matter of getting used to the pencil to get that transition between the darker color of the darker shade of the color, and then, you're welcome, Kristen, and then the lighter shade as you move up. So if you're having trouble with something like this, the best thing to do is to draw a box on another piece of paper, on a blank piece of paper, and then just kind of practice doing that. I'm going to add some bubblegum pink. This is a really nice pink color. I'm going to use a heavy, heavy, heavy pressure on this one. I think I'll probably do a Christmas in July special this year. Like, maybe we'll work on some Christmas books this year. Or maybe we could do winter in July. Maybe we won't have to do winter in July because maybe it'll already be snowing outside. Right? All right, now we've got this section up here, and we've got all of these music notes. I'm going to kind of go with a non-traditional way of coloring a music note and use this chestnut color. I'm going to do all of these in chestnut. But I'm going to make sure that my music notes are a heavy pressure on these because these are more of an accent to this page. And these have a nice soft lead too. Sarah is making a very good comment. Thank you, Sarah. They have 3 sets of, Black Widow has 3 sets of pencils plus 2 sets of skin color, dark and light. And then they have a 48 set that's going to be coming out. But I haven't heard anything from Albert about that. So we'll have to, I'll have to touch base with him over the next few weeks. See what's happening. I think he had a little bit of a delay going on last I heard. There's a spider on my ceiling, Alice is saying. Oh my goodness, it's stalking me. It was there yesterday when I got up and I couldn't find it to kill it, but it's back again today. I would just get up on, you better get rid of it. I wouldn't want that to be in my world right now. All right, I'm going to use, what is this color right here? Oh, forest. This is a good color. This is a green color. So I'm going to start out with a darker pressure right here. And as I move out to this one, I'll use a lighter pressure. And again here. And then leave it in the middle as a lighter pressure. So it's shaded a little bit differently. Don't you hate when you see a bug like that and then all of a sudden you leave the room to go, or you like take your eyes off it for like a minute and all of a sudden it's gone? Like you're taking your, you've moved across to another section of the room to get like a paper towel or something to get rid of it. This one is Venom, the same color as this guy right here. And I'm going to do this maybe a little bit darker, but I'm going to kind of go with my shading kind of in a different method so that it's kind of, well, you'll get the gist of it. You'll see what I'm talking about. And just this little area here. All right, let's see if I have another green color. This one's called Cobra. I don't really want that one. But I could go back to, well, this is more of an olive, actually. It's kind of an olivey color. Olivey. I don't know if it's olivey or olive. So it's kind of, I'm just kind of almost doing a shading with the different colors. Did he say he had a delay, Sarah? Yeah, I think so. A lot of things are delayed. We know it. This is a good contrast with the brown notes, don't you think? Oh, Mary, I can see how you would have thought that. All right, now this top portion here, we're going to do, I'm going to go back with Venom. Oh, no, wait. Sorry about that. I have opal green. And I'm going to go very, kind of a heavy pressure against that line and then move up to a lighter pressure. Alice is saying shading makes a big difference in a coloring page. Completely. Totally agree with you. It really changes how it looks, doesn't it? Lynn says, all my Black Widow pencils live together. 5 sets. Looking forward to the new set. My Black Widow pencils do not get along, and they've decided that they should not live together, so they're all in their own little case. I need to go through my supplies. You ever get to the point where everything is just like clumped together, too much of a mess? That's the situation I'm in right now. I need to go through all of the supplies, all of my art supplies, and reorganize. All right, let's go with some pink for this top section here. And I'm going to start with these divider lines that are going up and start with a really heavy pressure here and then move up as I lighten it. Heavy, heavy, up. And then up. And then I always kind of like an orange with my, it's a good contrast with the pink. So I think I'll do a little bit of an of this sunset color in the kind of the behind of this thing. The behind. It's the behind. But you want to kind of have that transition. You don't want to see like dark and then light. Yeah, you have to kind of reel it in, right, Lynn? Lynn is saying that this is difficult because she's used to coloring boldly. So to be able to actually kind of pull yourself back, and it's like a person that likes to talk really loud, have them talk really soft, right? But you know what? The boldness could be, instead of having to color so boldly, the boldness could be the contrast between the different colors. So you could look at it that way too. You could look at it where maybe you're not coloring with bold colors or really heavy pressure throughout the entire coloring page, but rather you are creating a boldness, or you're creating that bold effect by using different colors in contrast to each other or adjacent to each other. For example, in the middle of this whole section here where the different notes are, I think that this right here kind of represents a boldness with a heavy pressure technique on the music notes against the contrasting background of the shading of the different greens. Does that make sense? So you're not necessarily coloring everything bold, but you can still get that same effect. You still get the same look to it. Well, in a different way, but it's the same in a different way, right? Lynn knows what I mean. It's the same in a different way. It's like the whole together alone, you know? So it's an oxymoron, right? All right, so now we've got these two colors here. We could pull in some yellow, or we could add some blue to it. That's a good contrasting color. The other contrasting color would be a grape. Let's add some grape to this. And we've got everything going from dark to light going up. I love pink and orange together. And if you leave white with it too, Alice, it always makes it really pop. But since we're going from dark to light going upward, I'm going to do the same thing with the grape. And what I'm going to do is, hang on to your hat here. We're going to pivot. And I'm going to go in this direction for this one. And as I get closer to this, I'll lighten up. So we want to kind of see that transition. A subtle transition. We don't want it to be boldly hitting us in the face. We don't want to see dark lines between the two. We want to see gradual. And sometimes the shading will actually make it almost look like there's some sort of a texture to it without having texture. And this is just simply going from that. See, this one has too much of a definition between the two, so I just kind of want to make it a little more subtle. And then what I think we'll add to the top portion of these pieces that are up there, the section that is left is more of a blue. And this set only has an Aquarius blue, so that's all I'm going to use right now. I'm not gonna trouble myself to get up and go get something else. But I'm gonna do the same technique. I'll pivot around and I'm going to go from dark to light. But I'm also going to kind of color in the direction of that line. There we go. Kind of going from dark to light. And dark to light. And there's really nothing else we need to do to this. We could go back in with an eraser and maybe highlight some of this. So maybe I'll try to do that with a little bit of an eraser if I can find one without disturbing Scarlett. Scarlett, do you mind if I just step over you for a minute and get something? Hang on, Scarlett. We don't want to bother the dog, right? So you could either use just a white eraser or you could use a kneaded eraser to kind of pull some color away. And I'll use the kneaded eraser actually because I think that might work out a little bit better. And what I'm going to do is just kind of clean my kneaded eraser just kind of by kneading it together. Just have to refresh my screen for 1 second here, you guys. Mary says, I like this kind of coloring and I love the look. I know, I do too. This is one of my favorite types of techniques to use. So now I'm going to take my kneaded eraser and I'm just going to kind of go back into where I want it to be the lightest. And you could literally just kind of press down. Remember Silly Putty? You could use it like that. And you could just kind of press down on it and it will take away some of that color to kind of highlight it. So you don't even have to have to like rub the eraser onto the page like an erasing motion, you could literally just do this, kind of press. See how this just kind of coming off? I don't know if you can see it, but it is on my eraser. And what's great about a kneaded eraser is that it's self-cleaning. Well, I mean, it's not like self-cleaning like you put it down and it does its own thing. You do need to do something. You are actively involved in the cleaning of the eraser, but you basically just kind of knead it together. Just kind of move it around in your hands and it will be clean. But if you have a white eraser like this and you want to clean it, then all you have to do is erase a whiter paper. You could use this type of eraser also and just kind of erase what's there so you can kind of get more of a shadow. See, I don't want that green colored pencil to get mixed in with the pink. So either one will work okay. I think this is just really a complete personal preference as far as what eraser you would like to use. But don't use a pink one because the pink eraser will leave marks on your page and they'll be pink. Sometimes you can use a black eraser. They're kind of hard to find though. And then I'm just going to kind of take away a little bit of color where my yellow is and even along the bottom where my blue snow is. And then take away a little bit more into this area here, just kind of. And you could actually cut this eraser and you'll make it so that you can fit it where you need it to be. For this one, I'm also using an eraser for the top portion here. For this particular color of, I don't know what color that is. It looks like an ochre or an olive. I guess it's like an olive green color. And I'll go back into with the green section. See, if this didn't fit, you could cut a little piece of it. I think I might have a piece of it. I do. I have a tiny little piece. And I'll just kind of make a little bit of a white section on where my purple is, just to kind of get it a little bit more of a highlight, a little bit different. I'm using my, hey Shanna, thank you. So just kind of pull away the color that you don't want. Kind of clean up the side of his nose. And that's it. He's complete. The snowmen are complete. So all about colored pencils and how to shade with colored pencils was the topic of today's Color Along. So just want to make a couple announcements. Coloring camp starts on Sunday, April 26th. There's still time to sign up if you want to get the PDF book. That is the quickest way to get it on my website, AnneManera.com. And then you can just print your own book. Unless you have some sort of in with Amazon and you can get the book quicker than that, then that is fine also. And Coloring Camp meets every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for about 60 to 90 minutes or so. We probably go closer to the 60-minute mark. And each day we do a live coloring tutorial based on what's in the camp book. And we also have a daily giveaway and we work on an activity page. So when we meet in a private camp group. So if you do not have the Coloring Camp book, then you will not be in that camp group. So if you get the book, just let me know and I'll put you in the group. There's not a color along next Monday because of Coloring Camp. Coloring Camp also has a bonus day on Sunday, May 3rd, which is a painting class, and we'll be working on a painting together on May 3rd. It's a Sunday. It's a bonus class that we're doing for Coloring Camp. On May 4th, which is 2 weeks from today, there will not be a color along because I just want to kind of give my voice a rest. So I decided to take that day off. And then on Wednesday of that week, on May 6th, there will be, that will be the first day of Draw Along Volume 2. So I just wanted to let you guys know about all that. Any other questions I can answer for anyone about color along books, or and you can get this color along book. We're only 3 pages in. We're working on this book until September 14th, but you can easily get this book on Amazon. This is not a private group. Color alongs are always free to watch, and then you can also always watch the replays. And so far we did this coloring with shading with colored pencils. Last week we worked on this page from Hypnotic, which was all gel pens, and then the first page of this book was butterfly mandalas. So the next color along for Color Along Volume 14, which is the book we're in right now, is going to be on Monday, May 11th. And this is the one that's been canceled and will be rescheduled. So Monday, May 11th will be this page from Cats and Kittens, and we'll be using just a number 2 pencil for this one. So if you have any questions about this, just let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day. I'll be also scheduling, I know I've missed the draw alongs too, Sharon. I'll also be scheduling some coloring demos throughout the coming weeks. I'm just not sure of the day or the time, and as those will be getting set up as the weeks go on. I haven't scheduled anything really ahead of time yet. So there was one the other day that was water and glass, and we met. It was like at 7 o'clock at night on Thursday. So it's just gonna kind of be a play it by ear type thing for those. Just kind of go with the flow. I'll have to talk to Paisley and see what she thinks about it. She must have a lot to say about that. Chatty little dog. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Hope you have a great day, and I will see my campers in a week, next week, less than 7 days. How crazy is that? I can't even believe it's going to be another coloring camp. So feel free to post your page from today on the Just Coloring group or on different coloring groups, and share your page. The calendar for May is not up yet. It will be up it's coming out on at the end of this week. I'm looking at the calendar and to see when it's coming out. It's coming out at the end of the week. That's about it, everyone. Have a great day. Stay safe.